It's Checkpoint on ENCA and ETV. I'm Ngepile Mabuse. This week, 6 families' lives turned upside down by one state hospital. Mothers accuse Tambo Memorial in Gauteng of negligently handing them other people's babies.
They
told me ukuthi bayaqala ukubona into so umntwana akamethi mina akamethi nobaba.
An admin error that's caused unbearable pain. Their heartbreaking stories in their own words right after this. Baby switching at hospitals is a rare occurrence, but one that continues to take place to this day. In this week's episode, we speak to 2 mothers who gave birth in July and were handed the wrong babies by nurses at Tambo Memorial Hospital in Gauteng. When we dug deeper, we were shocked to uncover that this was not the first such incident at that particular hospital. To date, none of the families we've spoken to have ever been compensated for the loss and pain they've suffered. Seubutelezi and Tshapadlamini have the full details.
As this mother from Woodville near Benoni changes her baby's diaper and dresses her in pink, she's reminded of how this very activity almost gave her a heart attack 2 months ago. She gave birth at Tambo Memorial Hospital in Boksburg on the 23rd of July. The baby was born prematurely. Her blood pressure was high and doctors suggested an early delivery. After the child was born, its gender was revealed to her.
It's a female.
Ward 4 is the emergency room for newborns. Mom was discharged immediately and due to COVID had to leave her baby behind. Also due to COVID, she wasn't allowed to visit but advised to check on the baby's progress telephonically.
Ward 4
This is the video she took of her daughter in an incubator with a drip and oxygen nasal cannula. She spent a full week at home without her child. She was excited when told it was a girl because she had a son already. With her brand new bundle of joy dressed in pink, they headed home from the hospital.
Maybe around 1 maybe
As this mother was making a shocking discovery, less than 5 kilometers away in the informal settlement of Mandleni, another also could not believe her eyes.
My kids, food,
Calling her was a nurse from Tambo Memorial Hospital who had given her the baby earlier that day. By 8 a.m. the next day, the mother who'd given birth to a girl and left with a boy was already at the hospital. She recognized one of the nurses who was on duty on the day she left with a baby that was not hers.
Sister, no. Maybe it's a mistake. Sister, take be sa bonagale hantle but itse ha se ke shebe ha ke sheba hantle after ke find out gore ngwana ha se wa ka ke sheba hantle ka fumana gore ngwana o ke monkileng it's a male le ntho delivery time be le rona ke delivery ka fa ka 5 to 5 elo email for ntho 829 ya ga kopa go etswe DNA test because ha re sa tshepa.
Waiting for the DNA results meant more time apart for the mothers and their biological offspring.
Bana ba ntse ba le sepetlele wana ona ho hloko jang go ba motswadi ngwana ka o hlaile ha ke khona ho bana lena ha ke a bonda lena ke etsa nix nna go be ke metsi di results. I was crying every day.
This is not the first time Tambo Memorial has been embroiled in a baby switching scandal. Checkpoint knows of at least 2 other families who have taken legal action against the hospital for allegedly handing them other people's children. The Department of Health declined our request to interview Tambo Memorial and asked that we send written questions instead. In their responses, they give these 3 reasons why the babies were switched despite having had tags attached. The mothers were allowed to dress their own babies without supervision. Mothers were not guided to check nappies, and mothers were not guided to confirm the name tags. The department says it has instituted disciplinary processes against the nurses involved.
Ha sa ntwe ke dumelang ha ke jwetswa ha iyo ke a utlwa e entswe DNA test ke thabile mong ha ke fuwa o thongwana kwa ka but se ke se sure.
Coming up, this child was eventually traced, but cannot legally live with her biological parents.
Akudingekanga nokuthi baze bangitshele ukuthi now okay I could just see myself kuye.
In July 2013, this mother from Eastfield, Vosloorus, had her life turned upside down. For the first 3 years of this little boy's life, she and her partner raised him, believing he was theirs.
Ngithe mangihlukana nepartner yami because bengasebenzi bekumele amaintain ingane zombili ngithe mangiyambophisela maintenance ila asho khona ukuthi yena ufuna ukwenza ama-DNA test ngavuma because bengina doubt engqondweni ukuthi ingane zakhe zombili.
The DNA results revealed news that gave her the shock of her life. She remembers the day vividly.
Bangifika bangihlalisa phansi. They told me ukuthi bayaqala ukubona into so. I was shocked ukuthi yini lengaka kanti etholakele yabo. Only to find out ukuthi umntwana akamethi mina akamethi nobaba. Mina ukuthi akusumntanethu.
She says during her pregnancy, a scan had revealed that she was carrying a girl. Shortly after giving birth on the 2nd of August 2010, doctors also confirmed that it was a girl.
Mangimshintshe napkin ilanga thola khona ukuthi umfana akusintombazana. But bayine number ya file number yami ne surname yami esandleni. So ngatshela sister babe in charge ngaleso sikhathi ewodini abantwana. And bangiphendula the way bangiphendula ngakhona bangitshela ukuthi sisi ingane yiyo leyo yakho. Ayikho enye ingane khona ngaphandle kwaleyo.
She eventually convinced herself that she was the one who was wrong.
Ngaleso sikhathi vele mina ngase ngiyiblame ukuthi maybe ngiyenze iphutha mina ngenxa yokuthi ngi-diabetic and there could have been something wrong with me at that time. Ngatshela ukuthi umntwana bekuyintombazane kanti cha bewumfana. Ngaphenduka ihlaya ewodini kuthiwa sengifuna ukutshontsha ingane abantu abagada ingane zabo. Akuzange kuze kuthiwe khona mhlambe one problem efanayo noma kwenzakalani, azange ngisho lutho izinto ezenjalo.
10 years later, that moment still haunts her.
Umbuzo wami usukodwa ke manje. What about omunye umama? Wayethule thini? Kwakwenzakalani ngaye? Angazi, mhlambe yimoya yesangane, angazi, angikho sure.
After discovering that her biological child was somewhere out there, she approached Tambo Memorial for assistance with locating her daughter. A 2-week search led her to meeting her child for the first time.
There was a moment la akudingekanga nokuthi baze bangitshela ukuthi now okay, I could just see myself kuye.
She says although the hospital was swift in providing counseling for all involved, accepting legal accountability has been a different story. Back in 2014, she approached child law expert Henk Strydom for assistance with the legal claim for negligence. According to Strydom, the hospital initially refused to admit guilt. When they ultimately did, the compensation amount they offered was meager and declined.
I've explained it to my client and I said to her, listen, we're not going to pay you millions of rand, but I believe she's entitled to much more than what they offer them.
Ingane is not 10 months. The case has been dragging for 7 whole years. Akunampumelelo, akunanix.
The department says it is in the process of contacting the attorneys representing the claimant to request that the matter be mediated. It says it has put in place mediation as one of the strategies to minimize litigation and reduce the high number of cases against the department. Mediation is available to all the claimants that are interested in resolving cases without a protracted litigation process.
Angaze ngithole ngisho i-letter of apology from isibhedlela or i-Department of Health. Angazi ukuthi kwenzakalani.
The Department of Health says the nurse implicated has left the public service. Also troubling this mother is the court's decision to not give the children back to their biological parents until they turn 18. Dr. Lynette Roux explains the reasons behind the court's decision.
From birth, a baby begins to attach firstly to a primary attachment figure and then to secondary attachment figures. And that all happens sort of within the first 2 years of life, possibly, years going forward. It carries on actually into your adult life, but the critical years are definitely those first 2 up to sort of the first 5 years. So these children had attached to the parents and the parent that was looking after them, the mother that was looking after that child. To then take that child away at the age of 4, when that is the person that the child knows to be their mother, the person that they can rely on, trust, that nurtures them, loves them, to take that child away does incredible psychological damage.
The Children's Act is very specific in that it states that any decision that we make in regard to children must be in the best interest of a child.
It's hard. Something that belongs to you that you can actually take home. And you could easily be arrested for kidnapping.
Your own flesh and blood.
Your own flesh and blood.
To help ease the situation, Rue was appointed by the court as a parenting coordinator to assist the children with integrating into their newly found families. They meet at least once a month, and today is one of those days.
I would say that watching that interaction over the years and seeing how the relationships have grown has been incredibly rewarding.
The child's biological father worries about the possibility of his daughter rejecting him when she turns 18.
I don't bulala umoya yo. Futhi for me as a baba, it will kill me. Because now manje angithi kula masession is what we are building is a relationship. So I think ngizobona justice ingifele to the extent ukuthi there's no need of going for justice if it's like that.
Dr. Rue says for 3 years, the hospital has failed to remunerate her for the service the court ordered her to provide.
So unfortunately, I've now had to take legal action to try and get my account paid.
The health department says it is following up on this and will advise the claimant's attorneys involved regarding the outcome.
But the bottom line is, it should never have happened. It shouldn't have happened the first time, and it shouldn't have happened the third time. They always say, the first time is a mistake, the third time is a choice.
Next, a double loss. First at the hospital, and then years later, when the teenager she had raised found out that the person she was calling mom did not give birth to her.
Ngcono umuntu mayeshonile uyazi ukuthi ushonile umgqibile. Umuntu mayenyamalala nje ungazi ukuthi fanele wenze njani umbheke kuphi. Kubhlungu kakhulu.
A mother browses through photographs as she mourns the loss of a child she raised for 18 years. What makes the loss more difficult to accept is the fact that the child is alive.
Ukuthi ukhulisa ingane. Ngcono umuntu mayeshonile uyazi ukuthi ushonile umgqibile. Umuntu mayenyamalala nje ungazi ukuthi fanele wenze njani umbheke kuphi. Kubhlungu kakhulu.
In 2016, she separated from her partner of 18 years with whom she shares 5 children. She approached the maintenance court as the father was allegedly refusing to provide for the children. He demanded paternity tests for one of the children. Her sample was taken as well.
Buye ama result bangifonele ecourt kuqala bathi nginesho ukuthi umntwana wami na. Ngithi mina owami umntwana. Bathi igazi liyakhahlela kimi. Malikhahlela kimi ke obvious nakubaba limeshi. Bacela sizophinda mhlambe khona imistake ekhona. Sibuyele ke futhi siyophinda. Siphinde futhi libuye likhahlela igazi. Yabona ke lapho ke mina ngingazi ukuthi ifanele ngenze njani.
She gave birth to her only daughter at Tambo Memorial Hospital on the 13th of September 1998.
Uthi sakhona ukuthi umntwana munezibonge ezimbili esami ngapha nesinye engasazi ngapha. Kunosisi esasakhalene naye umntwana wakhe wenesibongo sami nesakhe. Mina ngibuze kunesi ukuthi why umntwana mabe nezibongo ezingafani.
The babies were briefly taken away, she recalls.
Phinde libuye libabuyiseke linikeze. Usisi lo yena nathi wakhe lo uyambona. Ngathi mina ngeke ngikwazi ukumbona ngoba ngathi bayafana namabebancane.
She went home with the baby and raised her till she turned 18. When, in 2016, she broke the news to the daughter she'd raised as her own, it appears it was all too much to handle for the teenager.
Wasavuka nje ekseni, masivuka ekseni singibuza uyana esikoleni nathi cha ngihambe ke ngigeze laba abancane sihambe bahambe esikoleni ngihambe. Ngibuya empedeni ubeke incwadi. Qoqe yonke into yakhe.
She ran away from home and has not lived with her since that day. Heartbroken, she approached the hospital, also in 2016, to help locate her biological child.
Baye eGimiston kwathiwa abantu ababehlala lapho bamuva baya eDaveyton. Nakhona ama-address awasafani.
She used alcohol to numb her pain, neglecting to give her other 4 children the care they needed at all times.
Angikhoni. Mina ngeke ngayinikela otshwaleni kakhulu. Bengikhona ukuthi mangiphuzile utshwala ngibe umama oright ke. Ngikhona ukuxoxa nabantwana ngihleke nabo. Le enginayo ayipheli. Ubuthongo ebusuku afiki.
Tambo Memorial provides her with counseling, but she says she often suffers emotional abuse there as she's made to feel like a nuisance.
Manje akekho oxolisayo. Akekho. And okunokuba izinto zibe ngconywana. Isibedlela sijike senze sona more. Kahle mina bangenza nje isilima. Kwakhona esibedlela bangenza isilima. Ngidlule kokuningi.
This has built up more rage inside of her.
Yabona mina inesi ngilizonda ukufa. Uke eclinic angikufuni. Makuthiwa nje ngeclinic ngiyagula. Malizoqala lithi liyakhuluma uvele ukuthi angisukume ngilishaye. Ngoba ngiyacabanga ukuthi vele akusumuntu engamethemba. Angangenza noma yini. Angiselithembi nje mina inesi. Ngoba ngikulesime ngikuso nje kungenxa yabo.
She has also not been financially compensated. In its written responses, the department told Checkpoint that on the 6th of February 2017, the Center for Child Law was informed that the search for her biological child has failed. It claims to have obtained her file with the view of entering into a mediation process. She is pleading with the public for help with locating her child.
Ngicabanga ukuthi kanti inkosi kunganje ngelinye ilanga ungakukhanyisa ube nje nanga umntwana naye kuhambe kuthi uyafuna. Yazi ngiyafisa nama ngakhona umuntu onganginceda nje. Angimbone ngoba hayi noma ngingafa ngofa inhliziyo yami ibheke emuva. Ngofa inhliziyo yami ibheke emuva. And ngibhlungu kakhulu ngalena ngayena lo. Ngibhlungu kakhulu. Ukuthi nje olimamela obukayo mhlambe. Owaziyo nje ukuthi wazalelwe eTambo. NgoSeptember 1998 ngiyacela ayiveze nje intombazana aphumela obala mhlambe ngakuthola ukukhululeka mangenzeka njalo.
With the Department of Health drowning in medical negligence claims, it seems highly unlikely these families will ever be compensated. Then again, no amount of money can repair the damage caused. Thanks for watching Checkpoint. I'm Ngepile Mabuse.